Hi, welcome back to the Parent and School Partnership, where we partner with you, the parent, taking you from pre-K all the way to graduation. This video series is all about the high school years, taking you from 9th grade to graduation. So this is the third video in a series of 4 videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the other 2 that we've already done in the eye right here. We will also link them below. This video is going to be focusing on the college visit process. So after you have narrowed down your choices to a few colleges, it's time to go visit them if you're able to. And so this video is going to take you through that, how to find the best time for you to go and what you should do while you're there. So we again are going to be talking with Bob Brennan, who is our school counselor, and Susan Hawthorne, our assistant college counselor. And we're going to be asking them a whole bunch of questions that you may have all about the college visit. So the first question we ask is, how do you even get started with the whole college search process? What's the first step?
First, you might want to try the college website and check when they might have open houses. It's a easy way to just casual way to see what the school has to offer. You may also want to schedule a private tour with just you and your parents. That's another way to do it.
Sometimes schools will also plan group trips, and you can see if your school has a group trip. Another thing to do would be just to drive to the campus and look around without any admissions counselor there, so that you can kind of get a feel of what the campus is like, and even if you get out of your car and walk around, what the students are like and how they interact with you. And then of course there are admissions counselor sessions where they'll do a presentation about their school and try to tell you all the wonderful things about their school and then take you on a tour. But it's also good to get some feedback from other people who aren't paid by the college or university to say all the good things, so that you can get the complete picture of what that school's about.
When is the best time to visit a college?
Well, probably the best time of year is when it's most convenient for you and your student. But also keep in mind that summers are probably not the best time to go visit because there won't be very many students, so you won't really get a good feel for what the student body is like. And also check their school calendars. Make sure you're not going there during their spring break or even the day before their spring break, because a lot of students are ducking out early. So you don't want to go during that time either.
I think in the whole process of your high school career, you're looking at probably doing these visits in your junior year, maybe the second half of your junior year. I know high school can be very busy with athletics and theater and prom and exams and all that, but trying to find some time to go maybe during the spring of the junior year to start getting a feel for what those colleges are like, because you're going to be doing your applications into the summer and early fall.
Which is better, a private tour or a group tour?
The group tour, one of the benefits of going with a group, maybe other students of your school or friends of yours, is as you talk to each other as you're walking, you might notice things that you wouldn't have noticed yourself. Some of your friends might notice something. But the private tour is nice because then you're a little more free to ask the questions that you might be embarrassed to ask in front of your friends as well. I would say particularly as you narrow it down and you're more serious about 1 or 2 or 3 colleges, take a private tour and really dig deep and ask hard questions to those admissions counselors.
What are some other things that you should look into while you're on this tour, besides the academic part?
Checking out the cafeterias, the food options, that would be important. Talking to students, asking them questions. What do they like best about the school? That can give you a lot of information that probably was not on the tour. Driving around the surrounding area. You're not going to just be solely on that campus for 4 years. You want to see, if you're not in a city school, is there a city nearby? How would I get to that city if I don't have a car? What are some other things to do off campus? Where can I go to get shampoo and things like that? Where's the closest McDonald's? Things like that that are important to your student. Those are things that you should be looking for?
If possible, I love to have students sit in on a class. Now, a lot of schools won't allow that, but some schools will, and it's always worth asking if you can sit in on a class. We've already talked about talking with students, even going to a student center, whether it's an indoor place or whether there's more of an outdoor place where the students just hang out, to kind of see what the culture of that school is. Going to athletic events or fine arts events, whatever the areas that you're interested in, to see if you enjoy the school spirit and the school culture in that area as well. Those are some other things that are helpful to know to get a complete picture of what the school is all about.
A lot of times when you step on campus, you really get a feel whether this is a good fit for you just by trying to understand what the culture is of the college. And if you feel like your people are here, you feel like you can connect with these students, if you see that the students are all studying and really, just one by themselves, just studying, if that's something that you also relate to, then that will probably be a good fit for you. But if you're not that type of student and you really want to see more interaction between the students, you want to see students throwing frisbee out on the grassy area, you want to look for those kind of cues to see if it would be a good fit for you personally. It doesn't matter how impressive the school might be if it's not a good fit for you. Mm-hmm. I remember visiting a school with my daughter, who initially really loved the school, before the tour started, really loved the environment and the surroundings and the buildings, and was very impressed with that. And then when we went to take a tour, all of the tour guides were, dressed in plaid flannel and, pocket protectors, and just really gave a vibe of a very studious, serious school. And after we did more research, this school is very well known for their engineering programs. And that is not something that my daughter was interested in. Those were not really her people. That was not the culture that she was looking for. So sometimes even those kind of cues of even just the tour guides is mm-hmm. something you can really mm-hmm. hone in on. Some schools really do look at demonstrated interest, which means that you have actually visited the school. So if you do one of those very impromptu, casual visits to the school, but you don't check in at the admissions office, you don't have that record of demonstrated interest. So if that's something that the school that you're particularly interested in does count, then make sure that you do check in and have a record of your visit.
So you want to make a good impression. If you are doing a formal visit, they know you're coming, then you want to make sure to arrive on time. You want to make sure to be dressed properly and those kinds of things that will make that good first impression. So you have to have a little feel for what the school culture is as to whether you can come in a tank top and shorts and flip-flops, or whether you need to be in dress pants and a shirt, that kind of thing. It will depend on the school culture, because if you really want to go there, you want to demonstrate to them, I am willing to fit into the culture of this school. One other thing that would be important when you are visiting a college is to see the dormitories. Depending on the schools, some schools you're required to stay in the dorm your first year. Some schools you can't stay in the dorm after a certain number of years at the school. But it's good to see the dorm room, see what dorm life is like. When we take groups from our school on trips, we actually have them sleep in the dorm overnight. Now, the colleges may not allow you on an individual basis to do that, but seeing the dorm and seeing what kind of room your child is going to be in for the next 4 years maybe would be another important piece that often turns off or turns on the student's interest very quickly.
And finding out housing options after, if colleges allow you to stay only freshman year in the dorms, then you want to figure out, well, what are your options in your sophomore, junior, and senior years? How expensive would they be? How would you get from the off-campus housing to campus? Those sort of things are things you would want to consider as well.
When you go on these tours, it is really a good idea to bring with you a large resealable envelope or a folder of some sort. You are going to be receiving a lot of paperwork, especially if you go on several tours in one day or if you're on a whole week-long tour. And you're going to want to keep all those things together so that you can look at them later when you've got time to read. So if you have any questions about what we showed you today, please be sure to comment below and we'll be sure to get back to you as soon as we are able. In our next video, we are going to be covering the whole application process, including the essay and potentially the interview. And in that one, we actually talked to some college representatives at a college fair. We were able to interview a few of them and ask them some pertinent questions that you're going to want to know. And we also are going to be covering some common mistakes, especially in the essay and interview portion, which are so important. So be sure to subscribe so that you are notified the next time we post. You can do that just by pressing that red subscribe button. We're looking forward to seeing you in that one. God bless.